Today, I sit down with the transformational leadership coach, Vanessa Yu. If you're ready to shift your perspective, lead with integrity, and open your life to deeper clarity and purpose, this episode will inspire you to get rooted in your values and rise from there. Let's do it. Welcome to Rooted and Rising. I'm your host, Tara Michelle, intuitive guide, storyteller, and fellow traveler on this wild path of becoming. This is a space for the soul led, for the ones unraveling old stories, tending to their healing, and rising, not perfectly, but powerfully, into who they are here to be. Here we explore what it means to live with intention, to love with depth, and to trust that even the hard things are shaping us. I'll share pieces of my own journey, the cracks, the beauty, the breakthroughs, and invite voices who are walking this path too. Because I believe life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. So come as you are, root in and rise up. And thank you, truly thank you for being here. Welcome back to Rooted and Rising, the podcast where we help you ground deeply in your truth and rise powerfully from it. I'm Tara Michelle, the host of the show. I'm excited to introduce my guest, Vanessa Yu, a leadership and executive coach who helps leaders stop performing and start leading from who they really are, with bold clarity, grounded compassion, and energy that fuels their vision. Vanessa's training blends deep coaching methodologies, somatic work, generative trance, internal family systems, and embodied relational skills. Her own business core values, which is vitality, connection, growth, compassion, and integrity, run through everything she does. And they're exactly the compass we'll be exploring today. So here we go. So I'm excited because I love your topics of leadership rewired and rooted leadership.
Yes.
And so I want to just dive right into this if we can. And first, I want to say thank you for being on the show. I'm really excited to have you because it's going to be a lot of fun. I have some questions because I looked over your website and I love what you do. And when we talk about core values, really rooted leadership, rewiring leadership, I want to ask because we talked a little bit about this the other day. What really are core values beyond the buzzwords? And how does that show up inside of leadership?
Mm. Great questions. What are core values? Um,
Mhm.
when I work with my clients, the way I describe it, they are what bring you meaning and purpose.
Mhm.
A lot of people confuse their values with needs or
Mm.
wants,
Mhm.
desires, but really, when you unpack values, they're what light you up.
Mhm.
They turn you on like a light bulb on.
Mhm.
They feel so meaningful. They bring you to purpose.
Mhm.
And they don't just appear one day. You've had them since you were little.
And
If
didn't
I
even
if
know
I
it.
if I'm correct from a class I took, you can start seeing values at the age of 5.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it because there's, a lot of the work I've done over the years is, I did some really cool courses with Landmark Education, but one of the things we talked about was strategies. And by the time you're 5 years old, you have every strategy in place of how you're actually going to live your life. Like you've already decided how you're going to navigate the
That's
survival.
fascinating.
Is that
That's
fascinating? By
fascinating.
5 years old, it's done.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
why when you're driving down the road and there's like some Yahoo on the road and then you behave in such a way and you're like, oh, how old was that? I was like 4 just now, you know? And so there was
Yes.
this other joke when we were in that course. If you think about how most of us have created these strategies that really up to 5 years old, you have them all in place. And you can see that in the political system. You can see that in leadership within corporation on how people behave sometimes, like when they're triggered and they behave from a 5-year-old space
Their default.
because yes,
Their
because that
default system.
default strategy is at play. And so, yeah, that's, and I want to ask, you know, why do you think so many people actually struggle to understand or figure out their values?
Honestly, I don't think people are trying hard enough to
Mm-hmm.
figure out their values, their compass. We're in a society where we're consumers. We're consuming
Mm-hmm.
what everyone else is doing. We're
Mm-hmm.
consuming so much. The social medias, we're in the comparison game. I don't think enough people stop and slow down to really consider.
Mm-hmm.
Then the small percentage of those who slow down and consider may not have the language to articulate what's really going on inside them,
Right.
to articulate how come when sometimes I do this, I'm full of energy, I'm in flow, I light up. It's the I mean, I mentioned this to you earlier when I spoke to you, is 0% of my clients know their values.
Right.
I've
Uh,
coached over 100 people,
yes.
and I ask
Yes.
every one of them, "Do you happen to know your values?" And there's always, Tara, a long pause.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I get family
Mm-hmm.
or faith. I don't
Mm-hmm.
get anything deeper. I don't get specific language. They just don't know.
Well, share with us what is specific language. Like if I were to ask you, Vanessa, what are your core values? What would you say?
So mine are service.
Mm-hmm.
When I serve others,
Mm-hmm.
when I serve organizations, I light up.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching. I am a
Mm-hmm.
teacher at heart since I was a
Mm-hmm.
little tiny girl.
Mm-hmm.
When I would play by myself, I would bring out this chalkboard my parents bought me, and I would teach my pretend class. It was
That's awesome.
instilled in me at
That's
young
awesome.
age.
Yes.
Teaching, I love teaching, it lights me up. Mastery. That
Mm-hmm.
one was a game changer for me, that I really value mastery.
What does mastery look like to you? Because I love
For
that.
me,
I love like the word mastery. I don't think people would even consider that mastery being a core value,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
it's for me, I find so much joy and so much energy becoming really good at something,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a skill, whether it's a concept.
Mm-hmm.
So for me as a coach, now I understand why I'm so drawn to being an ICF certified coach, because
Sure.
there's a pathway to mastery. For
Right.
people who don't value mastery, that's not going to light them up. It's actually going to inhibit them. It
Mm-hmm.
might make them feel trapped. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, that lights me up.
Lights you up. Yeah.
I want to keep learning and honing in on skills to master the skill.
Mm-hmm.
So for
Mm-hmm.
me, that was a big one. And another one that the language around this, when I was able to pinpoint it, was a game changer, was catalyst.
Mm.
I want to be a change agent.
It's so funny you say a change agent. Yeah. I
That's what
used
it
to put
means for
that in,
me.
yeah, I used to put that in my resume. Like I'm a change agent. I'm a change
That's
agent because that's
probably one of your values.
it is. Like I am all about and I have to admit it's probably one of the values that gets in the way of the roles I've taken on
Mm,
because in a lot of the settings the managers I typically am under, they want you to just follow their directive
protocol.
and
Yeah.
I'm a change agent. And so I'm a little bit disruptive. I always joke and say I'm
Mm,
like the Joan of Arc. I'm the Joan of Arc of corporation. And when people aren't being served and when there's a lack of integrity, and if it's like a lack of integrity on the team, I'm like the change agent. It gets me in trouble all the time because
you
I
know,
stand for a greater level of service to others and integrity to your team.
yes, I hear that. And if
Mhm.
you had a really good manager, he or she would have leveraged that.
Right. Haven't found that yet, Vanessa. Still trying.
And that's why I love coaching leaders, because when they do this work of discovering their own values and then experimenting with them, playing with them, they see what happens to them and the impact it has on
The
their
impact it
leadership.
has on their team.
And then they do the same thing with their team. They're like
Yes.
they start saying, "Oh, Bob here is he lights up with teaching.
Yes.
Let's see what
Yes.
I can do to grow that.
Yes. Yes. And I think often, so often, what's missing and why I love what you're up to in the corporate space is so much of what's missing is leaders understanding and realizing that your success is totally driven by your team. Like it isn't about
100%.
you shining and then your team to
Right.
shine.
Right.
Your whole job is to get that team to shine and then you shine. And I don't know if that's like an old paradigm where it's like, well, I'm the leader, so therefore I shine.
Right.
No, like get your team a winning team, and then you're like, you shine. And I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of leaders, like I see this from my perspective. I see a lot of leaders that they know that as a context or they know it as a idea,
Yeah.
but they don't necessarily know how to apply it and to really
Right.
have
Integrate
the
it.
integrate it. Yes.
Integrate it.
I think this is a good segue. When we are looking at values, like how do we distinguish values between what we've inherited but what's authentically ours?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Because I have seen clients who they'll take the assessment I give, and I always ask, does any of this surprise you? And one time I had someone say that creativity popped up,
Mm-hmm.
and he was shocked. I can't believe this is here. And he's a CFO. So
Mm.
he doesn't really ever use creativity. But the
Right?
more we unpacked it, he realized, oh my goodness, I was a very creative child. But his father would squash it,
Mm.
wouldn't allow it
Right?
for whatever reason.
Right.
So anytime he would bring the creativity to play, to however it was showing up in childhood, his father would always squash it.
Mm.
So that value was hidden. It was hidden.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
Mm-hmm.
put away in the closet. But when
Mm-hmm.
he took the assessment, it showed up.
Right.
That's one case where it was there, but someone didn't agree with it.
Right. Right.
Someone didn't allow it. It was
Right.
not okay for a boy
Right.
to be creative in this
Right.
situation. So what was really fun was we brought it to the surface and he started playing with it as a CFO.
I love that.
And it was amazing. He started
I bet.
changing up the meetings, a little more
Yes.
creativity.
Yes.
His processing system started changing. Then I've seen other clients where, as we do the work with the value, the specific value, they realized that was mom and dad's value and it wasn't truly theirs. And I have to
Mm-hmm.
say that was my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been discovering I really value adventure. And I was
Mm-hmm.
shocked it wasn't showing up in my personal assessment. I take it every year because I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious, like,
Mm-hmm. To
because
see how
values
you've
aren't
grown.
supposed to change, right?
Yes, yes.
And mine haven't changed. They've shifted, but I'm noticing that adventure is climbing a little higher. And I
Interesting.
realized because my parents didn't grow that part of me. I remember I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
study abroad in college.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dad said no.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, my son really wants that. And I'm like, okay, let's figure it out. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
to,
they
to
because
feel
they
to
were
feel that
scared.
adventure. Yes.
My dad was
Mm-hmm.
scared for me, and so
Yep.
that adventure part of me was very limited. And now as a middle-aged woman, I am like, I actually really love adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And my
Mm-hmm.
husband, who's Mr. Adventure, it's one of his core values, he's bringing it out in me, and it's been amazing for me.
I love that. I love
So,
that.
there's no formula, but the more you unpack values and you work with them and you play with them, the more you know what resonates with you.
Well, I think it goes back to how many of us have grown up to be something in whatever career, like I'm a doctor, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm a whatever. And you wake up and realize I'm only this because that's what my parents wanted me to be. And it's
Yeah.
not really what truly sings to me. And
Yeah.
I think that that's fascinating because, and the same, I think we can even, there's layers of that in relationships where
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people in this day and age where they realize, well, I got married, I had kids, I did all the things because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And
Yeah.
and then they wake up one day and they're like, wait a minute, like who am I really? What
Yes.
is it that I really
Yes.
want? I just find that fascinating because I think so often we don't really know the truth of who we are or the truth of what we really desire because it
Yeah.
has been so covered
Yeah.
up by all the things we think we should do or the things we think we should be. And then life starts happening at a million miles an hour and you're just doing rather than just actually being in your body to really listen, like, what is it that really speaks to me? So, yeah.
I didn't know how to do that, Tara. When you're saying be in your body, like I remember being 41, just had my surprise baby.
Mm,
I quit my job that I enjoyed, and I was nervous to be a stay-at-home mom again because
yeah,
all these feelings of resentment started bubbling up. And I remember thinking, I can't do that again, even though duty in me says to do that.
right,
Even though I know the research of a stay-at-home mom,
right,
the positive impact. And I
right.
enjoyed my years as a stay-at-home mom. But underneath, there was a lot of resentment, like, "What's happening to me? I don't wanna lose me again." I remember crying to my husband, like, "I can't have my wings snipped again."
Oh my gosh.
And so I
Yeah,
hired a life coach because I did not know what to do with myself, and I was hoping she was gonna tell me what to do.
right.
But I started to discover me and what
Which
I
is
love.
fascinating. Mm-hmm.
And we she would say, like, "Let's pretend there's no fear."
Right.
What would you do? Like, I would own a
Mm-hmm.
business, but I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
So then it led me down the path of coaching, and in my coaching program, they have a mandatory class all coaches have to take called Personal Foundation.
Yep.
Tara, that was a game changer. It was all on needs and
Mm-hmm.
values.
Mm-hmm.
And once I saw that my needs for that season of life, and if they're not being met, then I can't lean into values.
Nope.
Because
Not at all.
when you are not having your needs met, you're in survival mode.
Yep.
And
All the
guess
time.
what? Most people in America are in
In
survival mode.
survival mode,
So they don't have
100%.
the luxury to sit down and think about their values, right? They're
Right.
trying to get these needs met. And so I had to learn, how do I meet my own needs
Right.
instead of fostering codependency? By
Right.
wanting my husband to meet my needs, my kids to meet my needs, my job to meet my needs.
It is all within you. It is all
And I
within you.
learned that I have to meet my own needs. I
Hmm.
have to advocate. I was giving my power away. So once I did that work, then I was able to really lean into my values. And that's when the light just went on inside me.
And I love this because this is a perfect segue. I wanted to talk about living out of alignment and what happens in someone's life when they're not aligned with their values. Like what happens when you're not
Ugh,
aligned?
resentment,
Hmm.
anger,
Hmm.
victim.
Victim,
Oh,
100%.
I was a victim and I was a martyr. And then I was really upset when no one else was the martyr because
Right.
I was always the martyr. Yeah, and
Yes.
you're unhappy. You're
Hmm.
just I remember my husband would tell me, "You're so unhappy."
Mm.
I don't know what it is, Vanessa. You're so unhappy. I had a home, I had
You
children,
had all the things.
and I was so unhappy. Even my faith I had, but I was inwardly so dry.
Hmm.
Nothing was bringing a whole lot of meaning to me at that season of life. Um,
Hmm.
so when you're out of alignment, there's the red flags like
Hmm.
resentment, victim,
Hmm.
uh, uh, projecting your
Hmm.
feelings on others.
Hmm.
Not you're not a risk taker.
No.
You you're not connecting well.
No, no. And when we talk about being a rooted leader or leadership rewire, what is the impact on others when a leader, let's just say in career, is out of alignment with their core values? What's the impact on their team? What have you seen?
I see a team that instead of thrives, they shrink.
And you know what? I'm just going to throw this out here because I know there's a lot of moms that listen to this show, and I really want you to
Mm,
listen, like those that are listening to this show. Although we're talking about leadership, I want you to consider that you are a leader in your life, or else you
yes,
probably wouldn't be listening.
100%.
Yeah, or you wouldn't be listening to the show. Um, but you may not have a corporate job, or you may have a very avant-garde job, or
Hmm.
whatever. But even consider as a parent, you're the leader. So
Yeah,
the team is your
that's
family.
right. That's right.
Or as a student, you're the leader, and the team is your class. Or in a project, you're the leader and the people on the project are, I really want everybody to listen for themselves. When we're
Mm,
talking leadership, it
yeah,
really is not just like, oh, you have some position that says you're a leader, but
no,
we're speaking to
no,
the
you're
core
right.
within you that
Yes.
you yourself, you are rooted into this realm called leader within you. And how do you show up? So I just want to remind people because I
Mm,
love this question when we're living out of alignment for real, how that impacts your life on all levels. And you know what? I don't know if this is a core value. I feel like it is, but relationship is like a core value for me. When I'm
mm,
not in relationship,
mm,
I am in total survival mode.
yeah,
When I'm
that
in a
connection.
really healthy, connected relationship,
Mm, mm,
I can do anything. And I once had a coach years ago that I can't remember what kind of test it was, one of those tests that tells you who you are. And she said, when you're not in relationship, things don't work for you. And I was like, oh, come on, But over the years, I was like, damn it, she's right.
yeah,
when I'm in a
connection.
relationship,
Yeah.
when I have that piece managed, I
Hmm.
can go do anything else. If I don't have that piece managed, things feel very disjointed,
Mm,
difficult. And I don't want to say I'm in victim mode, but I'm definitely in
mm,
I am in survival mode, like
hmm.
full blown survival
Yeah.
mode. Like I can't, it's the weirdest thing. And I say that because I'm actually in a very healthy, nurturing, very loving relationship right now. And I'm looking at the difference. I'm like, whoa, and in having lost my job this week, like, I'm like, so what? It's like
Yeah.
it's amazing to see the difference. And
So
you
what would
pointed
you
it out.
say is the impact on those around you when you're misaligned, when you're not in a deeper connection with someone, that relational piece?
Oh
What's
yeah,
the
I can
impact?
speak for my son. Like I'm more stressed. I mean, we have a pretty peaceful house, but I'm more stressed.
Okay.
I'm less connected to him because I'm always in this space of survival of what do I need to do to make the money to pay the bills, to do
Mhm, mhm.
the house, the dogs, like it's constant. I'm never centered and at peace in my body. I'm
So
constant.
scarcity takes over.
Yes,
That's the impact.
scarcity,
Okay,
total
now
scarcity.
now being in this loving, healthy relationship you're in, this
Yeah, so cool.
value of being connected,
So amazing.
who do you become when you're living out this
Oh,
value?
I'm like the queen of my realm. I'm
Mm,
at peace. It's funny. I went over to his house the other day after I got laid off. He's like, "You're radiating," and I'm like, "It's because I'm with you." But then I was like, "I think I'm radiating because for one, I'm out of a job that I wasn't happy with."
yeah,
Right? Like I was not
yeah,
aligned with that role. It
yeah.
wasn't that I wasn't aligned with the role. I wasn't aligned. I'm just not aligned with that industry right now. I'm kind of done with that industry. I don't want to say it that way, but
Mhm,
that's how it feels.
yeah.
And my true alignment is what we're doing here right now. My true alignment is to speak, is to coach, is to teach, is to heal, is to restore, repair, to be of service. Like that is my
Mm,
true passion and
yeah,
calling.
yeah. I
And
feel it.
yes, like that's my thing. And that, like, anybody can hire me. You want me to go love on your clients and be of service and like do all the magic there, I'm so happy. But if you want me to do this other stuff, it just doesn't resonate. But wait, what
Yeah.
was your question? I forgot. Oh, so
Who do you
yes,
become? Who do you become
I,
when you're in
I
this
become
connection value?
grace. I just become grace,
Mm,
ease, flow, peace, love. Like that's what it feels like.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it feels like the queen of my realm, like the king and the queen, and it's like we have the realm, and it just feels peaceful.
Yeah. And how well do you honor that daily?
Right now, I'm honoring it a lot.
Okay.
Like I'm so aware and grateful for it because there
Mm,
have been times when I would have glimpses or feelings of this,
yeah.
and I wouldn't allow myself to stay in that space.
Mm,
I think also the difference too is I'm with somebody that where it's a healthy situation, it's not toxic. So even if I'm in a relationship that's toxic, there's still that survival lack. There's still that scarcity in the background because then I'm worried like, when's the relationship going to end? Is it going to end?
mm,
Is it going to end? Is it going to end? Like that's what's in the
mm.
background where I'm not going to say that I don't have those thoughts sometimes because we're still kind of new in this situation, but I really don't have those thoughts. I
Yeah.
just don't, I have more of creation thoughts. I'm in the space of creation. Like
Yeah.
I can create and there's that overflow feeling, like abundance. And it's coming, it's like an energizing abundance. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how it
Yeah.
feels. Hmm.
If you look at other areas of your life, how well are you honoring this value of connection?
How am I honoring this value of connection? I guess what comes up for me is like, well, what does that really mean, Vanessa?
Yeah. And this is an example of what coaching is like when
Yes.
we're unpacking our values. Like, where are you maybe not honoring it?
Hmm.
Or maybe I would start going into the other perspective of how's your relationship with yourself?
Hmm. Relationship with self, I think, is very good. I think relationship with self is what has actually got me in this relationship. Because I'm at a place where I truly
That's
am
good.
attracting, yeah, like I'm truly attracting who I believe myself to be. Like this person's really my equal, spiritually,
Mm,
emotionally, mentally,
mm,
physically, like all of those things. Um, he's my equal.
mm,
So, um, yeah. But I think that there's times when I don't honor it with myself physically, whether it's not sleeping enough,
mm,
or not resting enough
mm,
because I'm a doer, doer, doer because I'm a single mom. So it's just like
mm,
there's
mm.
never
Yeah,
resting time. No
right. It's
way.
hustle.
It's all the time, 24/7.
Mm,
And I have been forcing myself. It's great that you asked this because I've been forcing myself just the last couple weeks of like, no, when it's 7 o'clock, you're done. You're not going to go work on another project. You're going to hang out with your son on the couch and watch a movie. You're not going to go, well, let me go work on the podcast. Like, I will literally work till midnight. I'll keep finding stuff to do
yeah.
instead of allowing myself to be. And
Mm,
that's where I don't honor myself.
mm. So then here I would say, I challenge you to connect deeper to yourself, see what your
Hmm.
body needs, right? We're talking about your
Yes.
body, rest,
Yes. Right.
start experimenting, making a little more space for this value to take
Right.
up a little more space and
Right.
see what the impact is.
Right. Because we don't even know. We're so afraid that if we like, what would happen if I wasn't working on this thing or if I didn't go do that thing? Like we get afraid that we're going to miss out on something. But I often try to remind people you may need to take a step away for a week from something just so
Yes.
the energy can actually fuel it because you're
Mm,
in the way with all the doing, the doing, the doing, the doing, the doing.
correct.
Hmm.
Correct.
Yeah. It's like
Yes.
get out of the way.
This is
Like
the hard work, right?
it
And
is.
integration,
Yes. I love that
right?
integration.
It's like, oh,
Absolutely.
you can take the assessment and know your top core values, but then what are you going to do with it? And so there needs to be some space to unpack the values. How well are you honoring it? Um, why are you not honoring it? What's getting in the way? Who do you become? What energy comes forth? Like, what would the
Hmm.
impact be?
Mm-hmm.
And then light bulbs start going off, and then you
Yes.
start experimenting. I'll even tell leaders, write an email from this value.
That's cool.
And they're like, what?
Yeah. Like, how do I do that?
You'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Show up to a meeting in a certain value or with
Mm-hmm.
the prospect. Let that teacher in you shine.
Mm-hmm.
And you just start playing and experimenting to where it starts becoming really comfortable.
Yeah. Because
And
it
that's where
starts
the
becoming you.
rewiring and that's where
Yes.
rewiring happens because you normally showed up with fear and maybe scarcity. And so you default to this or your people pleasing or your schmooziness.
Right.
What if you showed up in all of you
Right.
with that value taking up so much space and speaking to a prospect or your report or your boss or your children,
Right.
right? If we're talking to moms here, what if you
Yes.
showed up parenting your teen from one of your core values versus your fear and stress and anxiety? I
And
have
all
to
the things
remind
you
myself
think is
this.
going to happen. Yes.
Yes.
Instead of just like, they're not going to live out your life. I promise you. They're not. You're like, I did that and I don't want you to do that. So I'm going to make sure that I'm like watching every move because I don't want you to do that. And it's like, oh gosh. But that's what we do.
My daughter, she's 16. She'll call me out on it. She says, "Mom, you're everything you're saying is from fear." She
Hmm.
feels it.
That's so aware. I love that.
So guess what? Your team feels it. Your prospects feel it. Your
Yes.
boss feels it.
Yes. Yes.
Then that shift needs to happen. And that's where I work with the clients. Like, how are we going to help you shift?
I love that. Yeah, could you imagine? Those listening, just and some of you, many of you being moms, but just imagine what it would be like to start parenting and living your life, even in your relationship with, your partner or husband or wife or whatever, from a core value
Yeah.
instead of from like the what would I call it? Instead of from your pure machinery of surviving,
Mm,
because that's really what you're doing half the
mm,
time. You're just surviving. You're
right.
surviving the moment, surviving the day, because you're not rooted inside of this beautiful space called your core value, which is your
Yeah.
truth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's who you
A-
really are.
Yes. And a great way to connect to that is finding its center in your body. You
Hmm.
mentioned
Hmm.
paying attention to our body. And oftentimes when I have a client like you were really feeling that relational value, that
Hmm.
connection. Where do you feel the center of that in your body when you're in that sphere?
When are you asking me?
Yeah, where do you feel
Oh,
it?
I want to say it's heart, but it's also deep in the sacral, but there's something about it rooting in like the root chakra. Like I just feel it all in my core. It
Okay.
almost feels like an alignment, like all the pieces come together.
Mm, yeah.
Like it all
Feel your
clicks.
core in
Yes.
between your heart and your
Yep.
gut, right
Yep.
in there.
Yep. It
Okay.
all just comes together. Mm-hmm.
That's your body telling you, right? When you're in
Mm-hmm.
alignment. And
Mm-hmm.
tell me where you are when you're in the stress and the cortisol and the
Oh
scarcity.
Lord,
Where do you feel that?
today. Oh, where do I feel that? In my shoulders, in my heart, in my head.
Yeah.
And then I have low back pain and
Oh,
hip pain.
interesting,
Mm-hmm.
Tara.
Mm-hmm. Low back pain
Yeah.
and hip pain because I don't feel supported. And my root chakra is totally out of alignment because it's
Alignment.
in
Yeah.
pure survival mode. And it's just surviving. Yeah. And then there's a disconnect from the heart stem to the brain stem. There's like a disconnect in there. And yeah, and I can see it like my whole upper shoulder area. I can see it just like inflamed red, glowing stress.
You're so visual, Tara. I
Yes,
love
I
it.
am.
So our body always signals to us, right? If we are in fight, flight, fawn,
Yeah.
freeze, or when we're in our core,
Yes,
our compass. I call our values the compass, the North
it
Star.
is. Your North Star.
And
Yep.
so when you start feeling the lower back pain and the tens, and you feel like you're up here, for me, like even my head gets hot from the overthinking.
Oh, Like how many
And
people are out there having headaches and migraines? Like that should be
totally,
a huge indicator right there that you
you're in
are
the wrong
out of
place.
alignment. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to shift to the other center of
Mm-hmm.
where that value lies
Mm.
and
I,
operate from there.
yes. And I wanted to ask you as we talk about leadership rewire, like what practices do you offer or provide people that help ground them under pressure and bring them back to that alignment?
I do a lot of visualizations
Mm-hmm.
with my clients. Like right now, just a little bit of where do you feel the center?
Mm-hmm.
I do visualizations on relaxing the nervous system with
Mm-hmm.
just a muscle relaxation from head to toe. I ask them to remember a time where they were connected to meaning and purpose. Maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was when you were 16 and you were on vacation. Like, I just help them gather the memory of
Mm-hmm.
meaning and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting. Once people go there and remember meaning, purpose, and we go, I engage all the senses. What does it look
Mm-hmm.
like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like?
Mm-hmm.
What are you touching? What's
Mm-hmm.
happening is it's creating a new map
Yes.
or recalling an old map
Mm-hmm.
that feels really good and feels in
Mm-hmm.
alignment with you. That
Mm-hmm.
way, when you're in a stressful, you have to go give a presentation, say,
Mm-hmm.
I tell them, recall it, recall that memory of on the
Mm-hmm.
lake, looking out at the glistening water, and you're smelling the pine trees. I'm making this up as I say this, but they could easily recall that memory. Your
Mm-hmm.
body remembers what it feels like. So that's one way I help people get grounded and rooted. And we play a lot with visualizations.
What's one thing you could tell people to do right now that are listening that they can do to get themselves reconnected or recentered? Because they're probably
One,
driving
yeah,
in
one,
traffic.
I'm so glad you asked this because this is what we need more of in
Mm-hmm.
corporate America. This is what
Oh
we
my
need
God.
more of in motherhood.
Yep.
There's this exercise I learned in a training I did called the Betty Erickson
The Betty Erickson. I love that.
induction. And you can go Google it. And basically, all it is using your senses. You just ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself, what are you? You say, I am aware of three things you see. So you say, I am aware of this painting in front of me. I am aware of the window. I am aware of seeing Tara on the screen. And then you go to hearing. I'm aware of a car driving right by. I'm aware of my laptop humming. You start engaging the senses. And the third one is I'm aware that I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do literal feeling or emotional.
Right.
And you do it a couple times. And I teach my clients how to do this for those who have a hard time slowing down, because this
Mm-hmm.
one's simple. It's
Right.
just turning off the problem solving mind and being really present, because to be rooted, you have to be present.
Yes.
To get back to
100%.
your core, your compass, you have to be
Mm-hmm.
present. And so, what better way than what do I see? What do I hear? What do
Mm-hmm.
I smell? You can even bring in the smell. What do I
Yes.
feel?
Because it brings you back to all those senses, really rooting you in your physical self, in your physical realm that's all around you, and then pulling that brain, that heart. What is it called? That I can't even
The
think of
heart
it.
mind connection. The
Yes, yeah, the coherence, bringing the
okay.
coherence together, and because that's what it is all about in terms of bringing that presence in, which is amazing.
And I got to practice this with my 6-year-old.
Oh,
We go on a little walk every now and then, and I'll say, let's play our game.
mm-hmm,
Because I want him to learn this tool at a young age.
mm-hmm,
And I'll say, what do you hear right now? And
mm-hmm.
he'll hear things that I'm not hearing.
Yep,
And then it
right,
makes me more present.
right.
I'm like, wow, buddy, I didn't hear that bird.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it just completely changes the quality of our walk
Yeah, I
because we're
love that.
both really present.
Yes. Yes.
So that's probably the easiest one for people to engage with.
How do you think really understanding your core values can help with tough decisions and tough life decisions?
Oh, woo!
Yeah.
Love this question. I'm like, gonna do a dance party, Tara. The worst place, I'm gonna give the contrast. The worst place to make decisions is from stress, fear, anxiety, because that cortisol is pumping and you're gonna do anything to keep yourself safe.
Yep.
That's what our brain is trained to do.
Yep.
Warn us when we're not safe.
Yep.
So when you make decisions from there, you're making them from fear,
Hmm.
which means they're not in alignment with you at all.
Not at all.
You're just surviving.
Yep.
So I teach my clients how to calm themselves down. I guide them.
Hmm.
And then we tap into, oh, yeah, I'm safe. My body's safe. I'm calm. Let's remember what's important to me.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, for me, mastery is so important, or whatever value starts
Whatever
bubbling
it is.
up,
Yep.
right? Whatever's
Yep.
needed. Your unconscious mind knows what to bring up.
Yes.
That's important to you.
Yes.
And then we say, okay, now let's bring in the challenge, the
Hmm.
decision that needs to be made from
Hmm.
this center. What's feeling important right now? So we usually the
Hmm.
question I ask, what feels so
Hmm.
important right now?
In that now moment.
And I'll give you an example.
Yes.
I had a client, a COO show up. He was in a tizzy, Tara. He was a mess. He was stressed. He was speaking 100 miles per hour. I know all the signs of someone
Right?
full blown fight or flight. And he's like, I need to decide if I'm going to fire this person or not. That's what I want coaching on today.
I needed you to talk to my old manager last week.
Before I had all this training, I would have said, okay, let's do the pros and cons. Let's
Right?
use logic. Oh,
Right?
no, 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 no.
Mm-mm.
Let's calm this guy down. And so I did a whole relaxation.
Hmm.
Had already been working with him for a long time, so I knew his values. And he calmed down, and I can see through the screen he's calming down. I'm reminding him of what's important to him.
Hmm.
Comes back, he opens his eyes. I'm like, so any insight? And he said, I realized all my stress wasn't about firing this guy. It's a no-brainer. I need to fire
Hmm.
him. But it was really interesting. The stress that I was experiencing had nothing to do with work. It was my children.
Mm.
I said, really? Tell me more. And he said, I've been neglecting them because he's an executive. He
Yeah.
works long, hard hours. And this man is a family man. So I was a little surprised.
Right.
And I was like, well, what are you going to do about it? He's like, I'm going to go to my kid's event tonight. I wasn't going to go. That was the source of my stress.
Yes.
The guilt, he said.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the
It was the
guilt in the
guilt and the
background.
shame that he was heaping on himself.
Yep. And it is all running in
And
the background.
I could not have gotten there any other way. Like, I couldn't have known that. But when he
Hmm.
calmed down, he recentered, he got rooted,
Hmm.
he remembered what's really important to him. There was
Hmm.
clarity. So, my answer to your question is you become very decisive because you're
Hmm.
so discerning on what's really happening.
Yeah. Well, and then you're really choosing from power, you
What do you
know?
mean, power?
Well, I always say, so I believe this life is a mastery of choice.
Mhm.
Okay. But
Yes.
often, like you're just choosing, do I need to go to the bathroom? Do I not need to go to the bathroom? Should I spend the money? Should I not spend the money? Like every second of your
Yes,
day
you're
is a
right.
choice. It's an absolute choice and it's mastery and choice. But a lot of times people will make choices not from powerfully choosing. They're choosing from
Mm,
scarcity, lack, fear, total cortisol, no thought behind it. It's just like a knee jerk choice. And then next thing you know,
mm.
you haven't mastered that choice because now that knee jerk choice just rode you down an even bumpier road
Yeah, there's
with
consequences.
more
Yeah.
consequences. and more things for you to
Ah, I
navigate.
hear you.
And so it's coming back to rooting into these core values of self, truth, discernment, resonance, and then you're powerfully choosing.
You're being intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that is powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the exercises when I was at Landmark, it was chocolate vanilla choose. And for the longest time, people had a hard time, they would choose or they wouldn't choose. And it was like chocolate vanilla choose. And because we get caught up in our heads about, but if I choose this, what's going to happen? And if I choose that, like you just have to powerfully choose. And then once you choose, you got to know that you chose it and there's no going back. You chose that. You powerfully chose. And if you regret it, you didn't powerfully choose because you were operating from this place of
Mm,
scarcity or fight or flight, right?
mm,
And so, yeah, I mean, I think this is all so amazing because
mm.
when we talk about values, resonance, presence, flow, being at
Yeah.
peace,
Mm. Sounds
you
so
know,
good.
right?
So good.
And honestly, I think that's how we're really all supposed to be operating every day.
The ease and flow. It's the fruit of living by your compass.
Right.
Mm,
And when I see that from a macro perspective,
mm.
it's not that it hurts my heart. Here comes the intuition coming in. It's when after having this conversation and I see it from this macro perspective, all these beautiful human beings on this planet, more so in this country, it's been designed to never allow us to stay rooted in our compass. It's been designed to constantly keep you out of alignment,
Yeah.
out of being rooted, so that you are constantly in fear, you are constantly in survival, and that disconnects you from your God source energy, which is that powerful connection where you get to powerfully choose, you get to powerfully stand, you get to powerfully root. And
Mm, mm.
yeah, I hope everybody hears this from a point of view or from a context of, you want to I hate saying it this way. You want to survive the times, then you have to get present and root into yourself fully. And you have
Yeah.
to, and I just heard the word sovereign, and I know people don't always like that word, but it really is becoming the sovereign self. And you pointed out earlier, Vanessa, there's nothing out here in front of you that is going to bring you the peace and the joy. That's also a design that like, look, the carrot's out here, the carrot's out here. Keep chasing the carrot. This carrot's going to make you happy. It's over here. Here it is. Here it is. Over here.
Yeah.
No, you'll never be happy until you start looking in the mirror because all of your
Mm,
happiness resides within. And that happiness is a choice, a
mm,
powerful choice, and a
mm.
choice in which you have to, I believe, really dig deep and look at all those parts within you that are like, well, what has me feeling however I'm feeling that
Yeah.
doesn't feel good?
Yeah.
Where is it rooted from? And do I need to
Yeah.
hold on to that?
Mm.
And, how am I projecting it out to my friends, my family, myself? How am I overeating? Am I not exercising? What are the things that I'm doing to stuff that void or the
Yeah.
noise down?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to keep operating and chase the carrot, chase the carrot, chase the carrot. No, don't chase the carrot. Like bring it all back in. I think I'm a little bit on a tangent, but I just see that, I see that overall picture. And sometimes lately, and I probably am going to stop sharing this because I have to stop sharing it because the universe will powerfully manifest. But um, lately, I I have been sensing the desire to sell everything and leave the US and not to run away from the US, but more to find some little tiny country where life is just 1,000 times slower and I can
Mm,
enjoy the fruits of life.
mm.
Because in this country currently, it's like a meat grinder. It's just like, "Duh," like we're just going to grind them out, and
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody's chasing the carrot to pay the bill, to get the
Yeah.
next thing, to pay that bill, to get the next thing, and then pay yet another bill. And everyone's forgetting to live. And I shouldn't say everyone, because there's a lot of us, like you, myself, and there are people listening to this podcast that are our whole mission inside this meat grinder is like we're trying to find how do we live at peace and love and harmony
Yeah.
inside of that fast pace. It's calling you to go spend more money, to make more money, to spend more money, to make more money. No, how about you just be with your family, be with your
Yeah.
kids, be
Yeah.
with your friends. So, yeah, it's a little bit of my
Wow.
little.
Tara, when you were speaking, so much was coming up in me, and then you started hitting them. But the first thing is we're in a society that's just distracted.
So
There's so many distractions. There is
yes.
something for everyone, you know,
Yes.
social media, number one, huge
Yes.
distractor. See it
Yes.
with my team. It's a constant battle over here of limits and boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're distracted with comparison.
Mm-hmm.
The American dream,
Right?
success, right? There's so much noise.
Noise. Right.
Noise, 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 noise,
Mm-hmm.
noise. What you
Mm-hmm.
should be buying, what you should be doing, what success means. It's embedded in our culture.
Yes.
And people don't want to deal with their hard feelings.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to sit in it. I didn't. Be
But you have to,
positive. Let's just be
right?
positive. Let's keep going. Then carrot. Then there's the next carrot. It's like this
Mm-hmm.
game we're playing. So
Mm-hmm.
so there's that piece. We're just distracted. So we have to learn to come back and focus.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on inside of us? The second thing that came up when you were speaking was everyone has the basic need to be seen and heard and loved or belong. All of them.
100%. Yep.
That's what people really want. So they're doing all the things, trying to chase the carrot because someone's going to love them. They
Mm-hmm.
think that someone's going to, or
Mm-hmm.
they were taught that, right? You
Yes.
get an
Yes.
A, you get a reward.
Yep.
You achieve this, I'll give you this,
Yes.
right? Mom and dad
Yes.
only pay attention to me when I achieve,
Yes.
right? We're taught this. So
Mm.
you first have
God.
to be seen and heard by your own
Like
self.
that's a whole episode. That's a whole
I
episode.
know, it really is.
I'm like, I just want to fix that one too. Yeah. Yeah, it is. You want to be seen. You want to be heard.
And her. But you have to do
Hmm.
that first with yourself
Yes.
because then you can't see and hear others.
No.
Then the third thing that came up in me when you were talking was um, the more you live in your values and you understand that everyone has their own map of values, their own compass, the
Hmm.
judgment just melts away.
Yes.
There's not
Yes.
judging because everyone has a reason why they're doing what they're doing.
I love that you said that.
I
I
may not agree because it's not my
thank you.
value system.
Exactly.
But
But
you know what? I have compassion
yes.
and it makes me get curious.
Yes.
Like, "Oh, tell me more. How come that's
Right?
really and how come you're being such a jerk right now?" Like,
Right?
"Well, it
Why
that's
is that
because"
important to you?
yeah, and then, with my clients, I'm like, "Oh, that makes total sense."
Yeah.
And so it makes us kinder and
Yes.
softer
Softer.
and curious and compassionate
Yes.
when you're living in alignment with your values.
Well, and I tell people often, I've been kind of beating this one to death because I find it very fitting in this world right now. We as souls all came here to have our own experience. And you can choose any experience here. Like you could be the best plumber, you could be the best president, you could be the worst president, worst plumber, you could be the best psycho killer, you could be the best teacher. Like you literally can come here and live out any desire,
Yeah, we're a right choice. Yeah.
free will and total choice. And it is not for me to judge. I may not agree with you. I may not like it. And hey, by the way, there are some serious consequences for some of those choices.
Yeah.
But if that's the path and experience your soul is here to experience, I have no say in that. Doesn't mean I want to be around you, maybe, or maybe I do want to be around you because maybe I love the choices you're
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
But really, I feel a lot of the distraction and the noise that you even brought up is just that, like people having all this judgment and pointing fingers. Hey, there's three more pointing right back at you. So why don't you focus on you? And
Yeah.
when you find you, then bring yourself to the party because then you're going to bring something so valuable. So
Mm-hmm.
valuable. But it's very much what you said, where this is just a culture designed around distraction. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother conversation because I feel that that distraction is designed to keep you disconnected from source, power,
Yes.
God
Yes.
at the end of the
Yes.
day.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
there's even distractions in those worlds too. Like we want to talk about God and religion. There's a whole, like, that's a whole nother thing too. But
Right.
again,
Right.
it's you choose your lane and live it to the fullest and enjoy it,
Amen.
be of
Yeah.
service to I'm like, be of service, damn it, be of service. But that's just my core
Yeah.
value. That's my core value. And you don't have to be of service. That's just what I choose. But yeah, it really is. It really is just coming back to center all the time and bringing it right back to self. Like, what is it that's important to me in this moment? And it's funny. One of the courses I took years ago, it was this very deep in like psychology and sociology and things of that nature. But really, what it came down to is that your whole existence for living is to be seen and heard. Like your whole existence out there is you're trying to show people, look, I exist. I exist. I exist over here. Look at my hair. Look at my outfit. Look at what I said.
Mm.
I
Mm.
exist. Like when you get down, when you break down all the human layer at the end, like at the very root of it is just this being within you trying to prove that it exists.
Mm.
And that goes back to being heard and being seen.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're heard and when you're seen, you feel like you exist because
Mm-hmm.
somebody sees you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also
Mm.
to your point of,
Mm.
can you see others?
Yeah.
And
Even if they
maybe,
have a totally different belief system,
yes.
a different political view,
Can
a
you
different way of
allow them?
parenting.
Yes. And can then you allow them grace to have that? Because I believe that there's something beautiful in whatever their choice
Yeah.
is, they're learning something really beautiful and deep and valuable to themselves that they
Yeah.
will contribute to this greater good over time.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh,
You-
like so many things we could go down.
I know. When you were saying that, it reminds me of I truly believe that every human is amazing.
Right? We
They're
are all here to make
amazing.
a difference.
And
Yes.
when I talk to someone, wherever it is, I want to figure out what their amazingness is.
Yes.
And that's probably because I'm a coach and I love
Well,
service.
it's because that's part of your core value.
Yeah,
And it's a
every
light that
human.
shines. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes. And
yes.
and for me, maybe it's because that's my core value also. For me, and I just got chills. I really believe I'm like, that's God's gift right there. It's like I want to
Mm,
be curious about who you are. Who are you?
yeah, yeah,
And what do I
yes.
get to learn with you and from you? And doesn't mean I have to agree, but there's
Mm,
still something beautiful and special about who you are,
mm,
everybody.
everybody.
And that's, even the psycho killers, okay? because because I think, every soul on this planet was born with just pure love and joy.
Yeah, yeah. There's a reason why.
It's
I mean,
conditioning.
yes.
It's conditioning and the human condition is real and the human mind is fragile. And I say that the human mind is fragile because it's easily conditioned. And it takes something for the soul within to do the work to uncondition or recondition
Yeah,
or rewire, as you said, like bring
yeah.
it back to leadership and rewiring. Like
Mm-hmm,
it takes something for you to rewire your brain
mm-hmm.
and then live a life that you love.
And trauma does so much damage,
Oh my God,
but
so
you can
much.
heal, you can
Yep.
rewire,
Yep.
you can
Yep. Yep.
reparent that
Yes.
part of you,
Every
right?
day is a new day. Every day. Like a
Yeah,
do-over. Let's
yeah,
do a do-over. Okay,
yeah.
so we could go on forever, but Vanessa, where can listeners find you? Where can they find you? So I'm going to put all the links down below in the show notes, and I want to wrap up the show, but where can we find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. That's where
Yeah.
I share my heart there. I
Do
share my
you? I love
work.
that.
I do. I feel like I don't mind showing my true struggles and my
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability as a business owner, a woman, a Latina, a
Mm-hmm.
coach. I'm there
All
to
the
add
things.
value and to bring on connection because that's one of my core values is the connection. It's an
Yeah.
ultimate need of mine. So LinkedIn is the place you'll find me regularly.
Okay.
And
So
then I
Vanessa Yu, and that's YU. And
correct.
I'll get your LinkedIn link. And then what is your website?
My website is coachvanessayu.com.
Mm-hmm.
I just redid it with an amazing web designer, and you
I
can
love
find
it.
free resources there. I have a monthly time I'm going to start called Turn Down the Noise.
Ah, love
I'm going
that.
to, for free, you can come recenter
I
and
love
find your
that.
clarity for whatever's going on in your life. It's for leaders, but as you mentioned, everyone's a leader.
Yes.
Number one,
Hmm.
you're leading yourself.
Yep.
Number two, you're leading those in your sphere,
Yep.
whether it's your children, your call, whatever, like everyone's a leader. So it's called Turn Down the Noise. I also have some journal prompts that really evoke more values.
Hmm.
You can download that for free. And then I'm starting a leadership book club.
That's awesome.
Um,
That's awesome.
and that's where you can find me,
That's
those two
awesome.
places. Yeah. And I have a newsletter that I send out monthly. Every now and then it's twice a month, but
Hmm.
for now it's monthly.
It's fantastic. I just want to say thank you for joining us on Rooted and Rising today. And, thank you for being my first guest on my first new
Oh,
podcast. Yeah, like so
oh, I love
my
it.
new rebranded podcast. So yeah, because I think that rewiring leadership and really living and stepping into your truth, it resonates. So I want to say thank you for reaching out, and I'm really excited. And so, all of you who are listening, as I mentioned, I will put all of the links down below in the comments. Uh, be sure to comment, or I should say, what's a question? Is there a question you want to leave people with that maybe they can comment on?
Yes. Well, there's a couple questions is what do you what are your values?
Hmm.
And there's so many resources on the internet that you can go
Hmm.
help yourself.
Hmm.
And the second one is who do you become when you live out your values?
So, what are your values, y'all? And who
Yeah.
do you become when you live out your values? Like, what does that really bring? And I love that. So comment below. Tell us what your values are. And maybe even share with us if you don't know your values. Maybe you discovered a value while listening to us today and share that and really, feel into what would life look like for you if you were really rooted in that value.
Yeah.
And it's not even rooted because it's there. It's just owning it and understanding that that's your value and owning that
Yes.
value because they're there.
First, you need knowledge of what those
Yes.
words are, what those
Yes.
values are.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like it's giving them name, giving them resonance in your body. And I love that. When you said mastery, I was like, oh yeah, mastery, which goes for my crazy, like, the perfection part of me, which is like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. And it's like, oh, that's just me trying to master that
Yeah.
mastery piece.
Yeah.
Cause then I feel like I have something more to give back. What were you going to
You
say?
know what? I wouldn't mind if I received an email asking for my assessment. I'd be happy to share it with people.
Oh,
It's
yes.
needs and values. You get both.
Yes. Yes.
If anyone emails me, I will reply.
Okay, great. Then I will also put your email in there as well. And what is your email?
It is Vanessa at
Mhm.
coachvanessayu.com.
Perfect. I will add that to the links as well. So, thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you, everyone, for listening to Rooted in Rising. We're going to see you in another couple of weeks. And I look forward to having you guys all back on the show. Be sure to comment, like, share this episode with anybody who you feel it might make a difference for. And thank you for always being with us. We love you. Have a great day. Thank you for rooting in and rising with me today. If something in this episode stirred something in you, take a breath, take what you need, and let the rest soften. Be sure to follow the show so you don't miss what's next. And if you feel called, share this episode or leave a review. It helps the space grow and reach others on the path. Until next time, may you walk with trust, speak with love, and rise in your own time. I'm so grateful you were here with us, and thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next episode.